What's up, guys? Hey, this is Cliff Notes. This is a really quick version of just running through what's happening this weekend, get you caught up on storylines. It's not a deep dive. And then if you want, at the very end, I've got a little bit of the regular video where I talk about some World Supercross information that was kind of misinforming. But anyway, guys, let's get into this.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
I want to thank Coach Rob at Complete Med Solutions. They've got a blood testing kit that they can get out to you at Complete Med Solutions. If you're feeling tired, if you're not sure, you're not getting the gains you want, hit them up. They will 100% dial you in exactly, biologically, what you need. Strapped, my favorite goggle company. These guys are awesome. They got the famous Let's Go Brandon goggles. And when you check out, use Cooksey for free shipping. So Jett Lawrence is sitting on a perfect season. 6 rounds in, 12 motos, hasn't been beat. He's looking at 300 points. Perfect. Don't think this is going to get easier. This is going to get harder as it goes. You really think Dylan Ferrandis, Chase Sexton, and now we're hearing Ken Roczen at Unadilla aren't going to come shooting for him and just emptying the tank in one moto? There will be a certain amount of pride to whoever can stop this. And they, trust me, going into next year, they don't want Jett coming off a perfect season. Dylan Ferrandis, no news to report with him as far as what he's doing for next year. I reached out to the source and they said, unfortunately, the ATP to Kawasaki thing just doesn't seem to be working, and there's a lot of loopholes. And either way, he has nothing right now, and it sucks. And the person I talked to said it's getting late, and they're getting kind of stressed out. It would be a damn shame if he can't find a ride. So hopefully Dylan finds something. Then you got Aaron Plessinger. Plessinger is dealing with some injuries, holding it down for KTM. I would like to see him get on the podium, but he's going through the motions. Good for AP. Stay out there, bust your ass. Everybody loves him. His mullet, like, he's probably one of the most popular people in the sport. So Aaron, keep battling, and maybe we'll see him on the podium. Adam Cincerillo, kind of the same situation. A super talented rider, but he's dealing with that arm injury that continues to go numb. Some motos it does, some motos it doesn't. He has the talent to compete with these top guys. And Jett, he just doesn't have a body that will comply. So hopefully this gets better moving forward, but until then, who knows? Cooper Webb is out. We all know that. Did videos on that. Ty Masterpool. Masterpool is crushing it. And Daniel Blair from the Main Event Moto, and if you're not subscribing to Main Event Moto on Patreon, I strongly recommend it. It's a great listen. Him and Joe and Dan, they do a great job. But he had a brilliant idea about taking Masterpool on Kawasaki. If I'm Kawasaki, you bring him over to the rig, put factory graphics on it, pay him some money, and let him ride his own equipment and market it as, look, off the shelf, what you can buy, check out Masterpool. And just make sure he gets the support he needs, but yet not compromise his kind of almost privateer type attitude, and let him ride that stock bike. Or not stock, but, off the shelf. Chase Sexton. Sexton's going to make a run. I don't know if it's going to be this weekend, but he does ride this track really well. It'll be this weekend, Washougal, or after the break. But look for Sexton at some point to empty the tank in a moto and go for the win. Maybe even put Jett down. Freddie Norn. Freddie Norn on the HEP Suzuki. Looking great out there. Not normally. I typically think Freddie's better outdoors than this. I don't know that he's necessarily gelling with the Suzuki. And it's hard to completely blame the Suzuki when Roczen comes out and makes it look so good. But yeah, Freddie Norn hanging in there. You got Garrett Marchbanks, who came into the series a few races after the beginning, crushing it. Garrett Marchbanks is consistently a top 5 guy. I think he's a 450 specialist in my opinion, and I hope he stays there. Then you got Lorenzo Lucrucio and Jose Butron in 10th and 11th. These guys are absolutely crushing it for Wildcat Racing. It's fun to see them bringing their MXGP experience over here. And it's also nice to see a lot of these World Supercross guys. The SMX series is having the desired effect. Like these guys who are on the bubble are trying to get more points to make sure they're in this SMX playoff. I'm sorry, I laughed. And you guys I make fun of Super Duper. I'm happy about the races. I just think the name's stupid. So I'm going to keep calling it Super Duper because I think that's probably a better name than what they named it, the unoriginal Super Motocross series. But with that said, it's a good thing. And these guys are racing, they're getting points, and they are kind of getting in there. So anyway, guys, let's get into the 250s. Wow, this 250 class is wide open. But hey, first check out epicgaragedesigns.com. You got cabinets, floors. Epic is one of the coolest companies. Just go check them out. And if you need blinds or shutters, Epic Garage Designs in Las Vegas, give them a call. CF7, one of the coolest, most unique brands that I've seen. They're surf inspired. They're really big into vintage motocross. Check out cf7.com. Let's get into Hayden Deegan. Hayden Deegan, rookie, red plate, everything you want to see in this sport, his authentic interviews. It's funny, I was a bit of a critic of him at first, and I didn't think he was quite ready. Oh, I was wrong, which I've been open about. I love it. And while I still think the same way I do about Brian Deegan, I cannot argue that he hasn't done an amazing job with Hayden. So, Hunter Lawrence, he's still your favorite. Hunter Lawrence had some atrocious weekends. He's still only a few points out, and he's the best guy, but his ribs are hurt, his arms hurt. He needs to salvage maybe some podiums in the next 2 rounds, and then he still is the favorite. I think he's the gambling. If I were setting the odds, I would still make him the favorite. But if he has another, he can't really afford to have another one of those rounds. He has another one of those, and it's going to be bad. RJ Hampshire. We need an RJ cam. RJ is the most fun guy to watch out there. I wish they could just have like him in the battle box at all times. I love watching RJ. His effort is second to none. He battles, and he's got a legitimate shot at this title right now, but he can't be doing the things that he does where he has the horrible moto and a great moto. He's going to have to get a little bit more consistent. Joe Schmoda, he's back in this. He won the second moto at Southwick. We know he's got the speed to do it. Now he's got the confidence. I think he'll probably, whichever one of these guys goes on a run is going to be the guy. It's any of these 7 guys that I'm talking about, the top 7. Then you've got Justin Cooper, who really, really wants this title. And he thought it was essentially over. We all kind of did after High Point when he hurt his throat and had to sit out. Had he been able to race there, he'd be probably the point leader. Unfortunately, he's not. But that doesn't mean he's out of it. And let's not forget how good he is at these upcoming tracks. He's really good at Spring Creek. He's really good at Washougal. So Justin Cooper right in this. Tom Vial, MXGP, 2-time champion. He knows how to win championships. What he's got going against him is he's got to learn these tracks in a day. That's not easy to do. It's not like MXGP where you get a lot of time on the track. You have to go out there and learn them quickly. If he can do that, we might see him battling. And I'm sure he'll be good at Unadilla. It's typically a track where MXGP riders flourish. So Tom Vial right in this. And then you got his teammate, Max Voland, who's kind of out of it for the championship, but he's riding really good. He's riding for a job. I've heard him rumored to Pro Circuit. I've heard him rumored to Star Yamaha, but I haven't heard anything's done yet. So good on Max Voland. Keep improving. Somebody's going to get a bargain and a very, very talented and cool rider. So Ryder DeFrancisco, speaking of riders, he's signed with Gas TLD KTM next year. I just want to see him get a podium before the year's over. I think it would be a nice building block for the future. Jalek Swoll. Jalek Swoll's rebuilding himself after some injuries. He came in behind the 8 ball, but he's getting better and better, and he's battling. And then guys outside the top 10, Seth Hammaker coming back from injury, looking really good, showing everybody he does have the talent. He is going to be a guy, and I couldn't be happier from Seth. I really like him. I'm partial to him. I think he's a nice kid. Yeah, Seth Hammaker, badass. So anyway, guys, here's a little MXGP stuff, and it's going to be a little bit critical and possibly negative, but I don't care. That's who I am. I was listening to the Fly Moto 60 show. Yes, I listen to other podcasts, a lot of them, and I read everything. And then I also talk to my contacts, and that's my job, is to stay up on top of this stuff. Michael Lindsay, I think nobody that watches this channel doesn't know what an idiot I think he is. He's smart in some areas, but he tells the narrative of, he follows the narrative that Davey Coombs and MX Sports and Feld, he is such a puppet. He literally critiqued the series for having the teams get all the same money. They don't get all the same money. That's actually inaccurate. They have, it would be more like a base salary plus commission type situation. The teams are based, their money comes from a base, which they had to do to get all these teams involved, get them going, get them to the races. And in addition, whatever money they get from the purse goes to the team, not the rider, it goes to the team, and the team decides how to disperse that money. So what they're doing is, the higher you finish, the more money you get. So it's based on incentive. So there is incentive to hire better riders because your team gets more money. Balance is, do you want to pay more than a guy will win? And yeah, but I would like to see that weighted a little bit more, but that still is the situation. I love that business plan over there. That business plan is more sustainable for the sport and less dependent on manufacturers, even though the manufacturers, I think, really should embrace it and get involved. but it won't be dependent on them. They won't have as much power. So anyway, guys, that's it. I just needed to correct a stupid thing that Numbnuts said. So anyway, guys, thanks again, and I'll catch you later.